I'm joined on the Crispin Flintoff show by Ahmed Bashbash. How you doing, Ahmed?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
The reason I've asked you to come on the show is you are the producer and founder of an incredible product that's on the market. This app, No Thanks. Can you tell me what it's all about? What does it do? What does that app do?
All right, so the No Thanks app is just a tool to help you in the boycott. You scan the products, any product you want, the barcode, and the app will tell you immediately if this product is in the boycott list or not. And it will give you the proofs why this product is in the boycott list. And if it's not in the boycott list, it will give you, of course, a green mark that this one is allowed and all of this. And we are all right now working on alternatives. So when you scan a product and it tell you like this one is in the boycott list, it will actually, we're working on showing alternatives to you in the same like area if it's not in the same store. We're
Wow.
trying to be as much precise about it, as much accurate about it, that we've been working on the alternatives for around 6 months now.
Fantastic. So you scan just the barcode and soon enough you'll find out, oh, that one you can't get that, but you can get this one, which does the same thing, pretty much the same, but it's not anything to do with the Zionist entity.
Exactly. It doesn't support the genocide.
Wow, that's incredible. When did you start this? How long did it take you to develop?
Well, first of all, I am actually a software developer.
Well, that
So
helps. That
that's my
helps.
field, yeah. And even though that like I was actually a full stack developer, so I was a guy just building websites. I didn't know anything about applications. But after the genocide started in Gaza and I lost my brother there, so I decided that I wanted to do something about it. I wanted to do a charity work for my brother, and at the same time, I wanted to help my country. So it got to me this idea about scanning the products and supporting the boycott movement while I was in the supermarket. And I started like to do some research about it, how to do it, how to implement it, what technology to use. I didn't even know that like you can use Flutter. I got to know there at that time from the research that I made, and I started to even immediately learn Flutter, and at the same time like implementing the No Thanks app to be like launched. And it took me around maybe 2 weeks to build that app because in the first phase, which it was in the beginning, I didn't care too much about the interfaces, didn't care too much about how the app looks. I just cared about the functions, about the accuracy, and even in the beginning, it wasn't even that accurate. If you, there are some people who've been using the app since it got launched, and they know they would tell you like in the beginning, it was kind of a terrible, but it was like just an idea. And from there, I start to take it, update the algorithms, building, making it more accurate. Till we're today, right now, the app is around more accurate, around 90%.
Wow. Now,
Yes.
look, you mentioned your brother. Can you tell us a bit about your background? I mean, you're from Palestine, so whereabouts are you from, and what's happened to your family?
So I'm actually from Gaza.
Wow.
I born there, but I'm originally from Jaffa. Like in 1948, my grandfather like escaped Jaffa when the massacres happened in 1948, and he moved to Gaza. And I was born in Gaza, and I lived there like for 19 years. In 2018, in September, I got the scholarship to travel to study here in Hungary. So I came here to study computer science engineering. Um, and like in 2020, I lost my sister in Gaza, Basma. She had a little bit of a medical stuff that need to be taken care of, and to do that, we had to take her to the Jerusalem hospital because the medical attention in Gaza is not the best. But we couldn't even actually get her the permission to go to the Jerusalem hospital in time. We were able to get her, my father were able to get her the permission after an entire month. And this in that month, she was in coma even. And the situation wasn't the best. And she died in the ambulance that was taking her to the Jerusalem hospital.
I'm sorry.
And and after that, in 2023, in October 31st, I lost even my brother, who actually was in Gaza.
In
There was a
Gaza.
bomb. Yeah, there was bombs in the beginning of the genocide, and they took an entire square in the Shati. And in that square, my brother was in the balcony drinking tea at the same time. Like,
I'm so sorry to hear that. How many siblings have you got?
well, I used to have three brothers and three sisters. Now I have two brothers and two sisters, other than me.
Are they still in Gaza?
I have one brother in Gaza, one in Poland, and my sisters. I have one sister in Egypt with her children, but her husband is still in Gaza. And I have another sister, which she's studying in Turkey, actually.
And do you keep in touch with those who are in Gaza? Can you still, how
Of
often can
course,
you hear from them? I mean, I heard the internet was down there or something. Is that?
of, of course. When the internet down, like I always try to call my brother in the normal phone, the SIM card. It's expensive, I know, but like I need to make sure my brother is okay. So after like maybe 20 tries or 30 tries sometimes to call with the normal line, sometimes it work for 30 seconds, sometimes work for 5 seconds. You don't know if it will work or not. But like if you heard his voice, then you know that he's fine. That's it.
And this is something you do every day. You're obviously worried about them every single day because every single day there's these attacks and the blockade,
Yeah,
the
yeah, of
siege. What what
course.
what's their situation like with the siege? Are they
Like my brother, for example, my brother, I don't know, a week ago, he wanted to go to get the humanitarian aid in Gaza. When he went there, they start to shoot them randomly, like just bumping them by the the quadcopter, and the snipers was shooting randomly people. My brother started to run away, going from road to road, from street to another street, just trying to escape this until he got back home. And I don't know, like for example, I try to tell him like, okay, don't go there, don't go to take humanitarian aid. But at the same time, like when you tell him don't go to take humanitarian aid, then you need to provide him food. And food right now in Gaza is very expensive. And like I have to take care of my brother, and my family, and these things, and I need to do something about it.
well, I can't imagine how stressful it must be for you to try and find out what's happening all the time. And I know that anyone watching this will that their sympathy is with you and their thoughts are with you and your brother and your family.
Thank you.
I I just want to it's hard for me to speak after that. I find the idea of what you're going through is incredible. I mean, and the fact that you've put this software together, this app together, does that, how many people have signed up for it?
Well, like from yesterday, actually, we hit 11,500,000 downloads.
11,500,000?
Downloads. Yes, we hit them kind of yesterday morning.
And does that, is that everywhere in the world then, I suppose?
Yes, that's like all around the world. Mostly in Europe, Asia, and both America.
What legal challenges have you had? I mean, I'm sure some of these companies are just really, really angry and want to do what they can to shut you down. So, how have you managed to keep going without them stopping the app? Or, I mean, you said you've got alternative plans if they do take it down, but they haven't managed to take it down. So, is it because you've worded what you're doing in a way that they can't legally take down what you're doing?
Well, in the beginning, when I did it, from day one, when I start launching it and start to get noise, the trouble start to come with it. And I knew that this will happen, and I wouldn't say prepared for it, but I knew that it will happen. So there is a few examples that I can tell you about it that happened to me during launching the No Thanks. For example, just after launching the No Thanks, a few months after it, I got fired from my work. They kicked me out. It was, of course, like it was just an internship with the company, but still, like they actually had to terminate the internship immediately just because of the No Thanks. And the HR manager told me that directly. I don't know if she's honest or not, but like she actually told me that directly in my face, like we have to let you go because of the No Thanks. And after that, like the people, like the app was getting hacked, or they trying to hack it for many times. They even do some attacks on it called the DDoS attack, which is an attack that you just request too much requests to the application, so you just break it down. So the first time they did it, they did a 7 million call in 1 hour, and it made the app crash for around 2 days. And of course, like me and my team, we had a call, we fixed it immediately. We after the 2 days, and we sent it back. And they tried to do it again, actually, and this time it didn't. Like when it didn't work with them, they actually went to like the extra level, and they made 2 billion requests in 1 hour. 2 billion requests just to make the app go down. And it did, like at that time, because we knew that it will happen, and because we learned from the first mistake we made, so it didn't crash. But unfortunately, the bill was a little bit high at that month, but we were able to cover it, alhamdulillah. And that's one of the things that happens. There is a lot of things happened with me during the No Thanks app that, like, if it was maybe someone else other than Palestinian, maybe they would have give up on it. Even there is, by the way, some companies that they try to buy the app. Some of them actually were Zionist companies. There one company, I forgot what it called, Browns or something. They are a Zionist in Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv. We call it Tel Rabia, actually, in Palestine. Um, they send me not they send me more than 10 emails, 20 emails that they wanted to buy the app, and they keep texting me and keep emailing me in my personal email, in my business email, and everything. And for some reason, because for me, I actually respond to them with my logo, the No Thanks logo, just like no thanks. The app is not for sale. So they made a rumor in India or somewhere in few places that I sold the app for a Zionist company. And this rumor actually, some of the people believed it, and they were like, "Oh, so No Thanks sold himself eventually, and now it is a Zionist company." Uh, and like I don't know, it worked for around 2 weeks until we made an official statement that we had to respond for it, and to say that to the people, we didn't sell anything. We're still in full control in the No Thanks, and we will never ever sell it.
Wow. So they're making you do sort of PR for your company because they're making these false allegations about you and making out that you're after money and stuff. I mean, how are you keeping going though? Because if you've lost your internship and you're doing all this work, I mean, do you need support? Because you can't do all this work without any help, can you?
Well, of course not. I cannot do all of this work without any help. That's why, like, the No Thanks is a project that cover itself, by the way. We have ways of taking a revenue of it, but that revenue is just to cover the No Thanks itself. It's not for me. I don't take money from it personally.
Yeah,
What I do personally, because of course I lost my job, and now even after it, I applied for many jobs, and none of them even like reply to my email anymore, it seems. So I decided to open my startup company software. It's called actually Bash Square. It is officially right now here in Hungary. Like I opened it around a year ago. And in this company, we do like small project in like freelancing work. I do freelancing work. I do some projects for my own. I have a few ideas of an applications that just like No Thanks, but instead of like like apps, charity apps for the countries. I have other ideas that I wanted to do them in my own business one day. Some of them I even already started to do them. Some of them they will need, like, I don't know, resources. They need money. We will leave it for the future, but they are still in my mind and plans.
How do you find out with these companies if they've got a link with the Zionist entity? I mean, they must be very clever at hiding where they're from. They must disguise their main office and stuff like that. Is that something that you've become expert at kind of uncovering where these companies are from and these products where they're from?
Well, like, it would be true if, like, I don't know, we are in the old days or something, but nowadays, like, I don't know, countries, companies, brands are very obvious about their support for the Zionists, and they brag about it. They would, like, put it on their news when they went to, I don't know, an interview or a speech or something. They would say it very clear, and they wouldn't care about anyone. And at the same time, if you even went to some of the companies, their own website, their own reports, and you read it, and you will see the evidence by yourself. And that's what we put actually in the No Thanks app. Some of the proofs are a URL of the same exact company. Just it takes you literally to the company link, and just like in that article, if you read it, you will find that they wrote actually by themselves that they are contributing for the Zionists.
Well, I mean, because I have seen that, like, for example, we had dates that were sold in this country, and they were saying that they don't put made in Israel or put products of Israel on the bottom of it. So
Yeah,
that it's almost like they're trying to disguise that, but you think it's not that they're quite easy to detect.
except the dates, actually. Dates, and there is some products, especially dates, because Palestine is at the same time is well known by their dates. Like the Palestinian dates is really delicious and these things. So with the rising of this boycott things and the rising of the awareness between the people start like to be aware about when to what dates to buy and these things. And some companies and some brands, unfortunately, they were even covered their products in the Palestinian flag, but they were not Palestinian.
Wow.
And we had to make an entire investigation about these products and these dates because it was so obvious. And people just like putting dates and put made on Palestine just to sell it. But most of them, they weren't Palestinian. Most of them, not most of them, some of them were actually a Zionist from the Zionist land, the occupied land, and they sold it as a Palestinian. So they don't exist. They don't admit of the existence of the Palestinian. But somehow, when they wanted to sell their products, they put that it is from Palestine. Make it make sense.
Yeah. Well, I think that more people have got to become aware of this. Even though you've got millions and millions all over the world, we need it to be a billion, so that you can
Inshallah.
have those billion hits because you can cope with a billion hits. So let's make it a billion, and then let's bring down the Zionist entity, which is absolutely disgracefully treating your family and you know, as I say, everyone I know will be sending you love and solidarity, and our best wishes for your family. And
Thank you.
thank you so much for spending some time telling me about this because I'm very impressed, and
Thank you so
it
much.
makes me think I've got to do more stuff.
No,
So
thank you for the opportunity. To be honest, I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to say my story again.